Well, welcome FMAC community, students, families, friends, visitors. We're welcome to have you with us today. And once again, let's welcome you to our season of generosity. This is a time every year where our students are given the opportunity to actually help out families, children in our communities. I mean, directly around where we live. Right now we're having our food drive, and that's going to go through till November 21st. We do these things every year, again, just to give everyone an opportunity around the major holidays to help out some folks that are out there that might be a little bit less fortunate than some of us. Now, sometimes when you're doing something generous, things can come along and knock that generosity right out of you. You have to always be prepared for the unexpected, even when you're doing something good for others. Now that's what Dippy's going to face in today's talk. Let's see how he handles it. Dippy's mom says, "Dippy, I was just looking at the FMAC app and saw they're taking donations for this year's food drive. Would you like to go to the grocery store with me and get some food for the drive?" And he said, "Yes, ma'am." And they headed out into the truckster and off they went. Dippy was feeling really good about this. He enjoyed the season of generosity, and he enjoyed the idea of helping others. He remembered something that Wisdom taught in class one night. He talked about the definition of generosity, and that was free in giving or sharing without expecting anything in return. It's easy to give something to someone when you know you're going to get something back from them. But being generous means that when you give something to someone, there's no expectation that they're going to give something back to you. That is being generous. And when we're being generous, and science has proven this now, our bodies learn to create more happy chemicals in our brain. All right, that's very, very true. Several different research studies have shown that now. So by doing something generous, I mean something really from your heart that can lift your spirits up during the holidays, because the holidays for some people, especially older people, can be a little bit sad, a little bit depressing. And why older people? Because older people automatically don't make as many happy chemicals as younger people do. This is a wonderful way to get the brain working a little overtime. Well, they made it to the grocery store, and as they got inside, Mom took a carriage and went off down one aisle, and Dippy went down on another, and he started looking at things, and something started going on behind him. Oh, there was a little boy. He's playing with a shopping cart, and he ran right into Dippy. Let me tell you, he just knocked the generosity right out of Dippy. Dippy was mad. And the little guy was really sad for what he did. He said, "I'm sorry, mister," in a very soft little voice. And that tugged at Dippy's heartstrings. One way to get rid of those nasty, angry thoughts that we initially get when something happens to us is just think about your heartstrings a little bit. And that's what led Dippy to be able to have self-control. And self-control reminded him of some of the silly things he did when he was a little bit younger. So he understood it a little bit better. "It's okay," Dippy says. "I've done some silly things too." Well, the little boy's face turned around. "Gee, thanks, mister." He was really grateful, had a big old smile. And then Dippy said, "You're welcome." Then the little guy very gently took the carriage and walked down the aisle, and he didn't fool around with it anymore. When they got to the cashier, Dippy was watching him ring everything up, but then, a box of oatmeal kind of slid over the scanner and didn't get scanned. Well, the first thing Dippy thought, and I think that might be one of the first things we think, is something a little bit selfish. Let's see. That is a savings of $3.89. That's going to buy a lot of candy. Let's stock up. But then he thought, and he had integrity. "Dippy, you know the right thing to do." And Dippy thought about it, and you know what? He had a big smile because he did know the right thing to do. He pointed to the box and he showed the man, And the man got the box and scanned it, and he was very happy with Dippy. Thought that was a very nice thing for a young person to be able to do, being that honest. Well, on the ride home, Dippy felt really good about that visit to the grocery store. By being generous with his forgiveness with that little guy, he turned a frown upside down, and he felt good about that. By not stealing food from the store, but letting the man know that he missed something, he felt really good about that too. Yep, he was glad that wherever he goes, he always brings the black belt characters with him, so that any crossroad that may come along, he's got them there to help him make the right choices. It was a good day for him. And that's our story. Now we'd like to ask you to please join us in our season of generosity and bring in a food donation that will help children and families right here in our communities. All you have to do is bring the food in. There are tables set up just as you enter the building. If you would rather not come in, let us know. We can meet you at the doorway. There's no problem with that whatsoever. And we have until November 21st. Now, this is what last year's looked like when they came to pick it up. And now this year, we already have two. In fact, I'm looking over. This was last Saturday, and there's a lot more over there now than there was on Saturday. So thank you so much, all of you folks that are out there. There's something about doing something for others, and I know we're all hurting. We're all going through an awful lot. The kids through an awful lot. But what a wonderful thing to get them involved with that can get them helping other kids that they're probably never going to see, never going to meet, but on Thanksgiving, they're going to be sitting down and they're going to have a meal because of what you and these kids are doing. That's what they need to learn. And that's why we started the Family Martial Arts Center, for those moments. And remember too, when you donate, we'd like to give you the School Spirit Award. Little blue star goes on your right pant leg, about an inch up from the seam. So when you see those blue stars on a uniform, there is someone and their family who's helped and donated to many of our generosity operations in the past. And we do thank you so much for that. Oh, and then we're going to begin our toy drive right after that, November the 21st, but we'll talk a little bit more about that a little bit later on. So that's our talk for tonight, and until your next visit, stay safe and stay well.